how much cash do you need to buy a house? That's a question I get all the time. There's all these numbers thrown around. There's closing costs, there's down payments. You know, your grandma's telling you that you need a 20% down payment, and that's how they did it in, 1942. And your friend is telling you that they walked into a house with no money down and the seller paid closing costs, and like, what do you do? All right, so how much cash do you need to close a house? Let's start by saying it's always better to be over-prepared than just squeaking by. So we're going to talk about some numbers, we're going to talk some percentages, and then we're going to talk about being realistically prepared. Are there 20% down payment loans out there? Absolutely. Are there 3.5% down payments out there? Absolutely. Do I even know of a couple of local 0 down payment loan options if you have really great credit? Yep. So there's all kinds of options. So you could, and really no one's going to put a limit on how much money you can put down on a house, right? You could put down 0 to 100% on a house. Usually when we're looking at down payments, we're looking at anywhere from 3.5 to 20% down on a home. So I know I said I do know some local options that are 0% down payment. If you have good credit, we're talking high 6s, even into the 700s. Other than that, we're going to be looking at 3.5 to 20% down payment. So when we're talking 3.5% down payment, that's usually going to be an FHA loan, which is backed by the government, and it's really designed for people who maybe don't have the best financial history. Maybe you have a bunch of student loans and it's driving up your debt to income ratio a little bit. The FHA loan is really designed for that. So it's designed to help people get into a home easier, and because of that, the down payment is going to be all the way down to 3.5%. So that's really great. What a lot of people don't know about is, and actually I'll be honest with you, when we went to save up our money and buy this house, this is our first house, our only house that we love, I didn't know about closing costs. So closing costs it's basically all the stuff wrapped into loan origination, possibly some title fees and things like that going into it, making sure that everything's on the up and up with the home that you're buying. There's going to be an appraisal, there's going to be an inspection. If all of this is confusing you, don't worry, I've got you covered. There's a lot that goes into it. So your down payment could be 3.5 to 20% of the price of the home. On average, your closing costs are going to be somewhere between 3% and 8% of the home that you're buying. So to be prepared, really, unless you qualify for one of those 0 down payment loans, you need to be prepared, right? Your lowest closing cost could be around 3%, most likely. Your lowest down payment is probably going to be 3.5%. So 6.5% of your home's purchase price is at minimum what you need to have ready. So if you're looking at a $225,000 home, that amount that is 6.5% is going to be a little over $14,000. If you're looking on the higher end of that, right, if you're looking on 8% closing costs, you're looking at putting 20% down on a down payment for a $225,000 home, that's going to be over $63,000. So you can see that's a huge range, somewhere between $14,000, a little over $14,000, and $63,000. That's a huge range of what you may need to have available in cash to buy a home, right? That's all going to be due by closing, which is closing is the day that you go sign all those contracts, and officially your loan is funded and you become the homeowner. Closing is the best day ever, but it is going to take some work and some cash to get there. If you wanted to be a responsible planner, I would plan for maybe 5% of a down payment and 8 to 10% of a home's purchase cost. So if you're looking at that $225,000 home, right? 5% of that is going to be around $11,000. 10% of that is going to be $22,000. So a responsible amount to have saved up for that would be $30,000 to $35,000. If you're not quite sure how to do that math, take the home that you're looking at, the purchase price, and multiply that by 0.15 or 0.2. Okay, that's going to give you a range, right? So put it in your phone calculator if you multiply, 200,000 by 0.15, 200,000 by 0.2, that's going to give you a good, especially if you're going to go with a lower down payment loan, that's going to give you a good number to aim for what you're saving for. So I hope this was helpful for you. Make sure that the next thing you do is hit that playlist, Homebuyer 101. It's going to have everything you need to help you buy a home. If you need some more help than that, if you scroll down in the description of this video, there is a home buyer's game plan. It walks you through first, second, and third base all the way to home plate. You can knock it out of the park buying your first home. Go get it, go download it, and I can't wait to hear how I can help you.